Welcome back, everyone. This is Daniel Apologetics, who is with us today to go through a video of Yusuf Estes. Now, some of you may be watching this because you clicked on the link, and some of you may be watching this because you came from Daniel's channel. So hello to those who came from Daniel's channel. Thumbs up for clicking on the link. We are going to go through a speech that Yusuf Estes gave, and it's quite a notorious one because he says some of the most bizarre and crazy things about Christianity that I've ever heard. And this is coming from someone who's supposedly an ex-Christian. I think he was a priest, right? Or he was a minister, or he was something like that within the Protestant branch. And he became a Muslim because he must have woke up on the wrong side of the bed. And let's give this a watch and see.
Millions of views, by the way.
Millions of views.
All across social media.
Huh, interesting. I'm sure he's got only amazingly clever things to say. Let's listen.
For sure.
But just be honest, was Jesus a Catholic? And it's not open to debate, so there's no point in opening that up because you know and I know he wasn't. The Catholic Church was in business about 300 years before Jesus was born. It's on their website. Don't go like this. It's on their website. That's where I took it from. The Catholic Church was really started in Rome by Alexander the Great. Do you know what the word Catholic means? It means universal. It was the universal church for the Roman Empire. If you didn't join it, you could not be a Roman citizen. And it was opposed to the teachings of Judaism and opposed to the teachings of the early Christians for more than 200 and some years. And they were diametrically opposed to each other to the extent that it was the Romans killing the early Christians. Now, if you understand that and you go to their website and read, they didn't even take over Christianity until the year 325 AD. And when they did, they changed a lot of things, again, referring to their own website. But if you want to check it in Britannica or Americana or grow your encyclopedias, go ahead and read about the Catholic Church.
Okay, I'm going to pause that there because there is so much in that that we could go for a long time picking out all the mistakes. In fact, actually, let's have a little counter, right? Like, let's count up how many mistakes that Yusuf Estes makes about basic Christianity, because I think he made a lot of mistakes there.
Yeah. Oh man, it is. I remember the first time I watched this, I thought that he's probably talking about Constantine, the common slogan, completely ignorant as well. But I thought he meant like Constantine or something, because that's like a popular new atheist and Dawah slogan. but it actually says Alexander the Great. I couldn't believe what I heard. Like, how does he say that with a straight face? And I mean, and where? I have to admit something, Chris. I actually went to the Catholic websites.
Oh yes.
I this might be a shock. Might be a shock for you. Just hold on to your chair, horses, and whatever you say in England. Hold on to your buttons. There is nowhere. There is nowhere on the Catholic website, encyclopedia, whatever. There is nothing about this. What are you saying? That Alexander the Great started Christianity in the Catholic Church.
Whoa,
I know,
Daniel. That would mean that he's wrong, and that can't be right. He how could he be wrong? This guy's an expert.
He's a sheikh. He's a sheikh.
Yeah. Sheikh in both Christianity and Islam.
It's just crazy, and that he has this stage and saying this. And I actually, in the process of us preparing for this, I actually saw that this part that he's talking about is also you can also find shorts of it online. Like what he's saying is spreading. So this many people falling for this, because it's really hard to check just 2 minutes. But in general, like I don't want to be rude, Well, actually, I kind of want to be rude. My fifth grade bonus son, he would school Yusuf Estes in history. Like, this is bizarre. Like, this is crazy.
It is. It's just the level of just ignorance is astounding, right? And I think what did he say? He said, so it's Alexander the Great, who was 300 years before, and he started up the Catholic Church. So the church itself is the body of Christ, of which you need a Christ to have the church. So, like 300 years before that, Jesus hadn't incarnated yet, so that's literally not possible. And then he says in Rome, which Alexander the Great never conquered Rome. He conquered the east from Greece first, in Macedonia from his Philip II, his father. He inherited the empire that it was, and then he expanded through Asia Minor to Middle East to all the way up to modern day Pakistan. But he never conquered the West, i.e., Rome.
No, he tried, but he got cut off from behind, and he barely escaped with his life. Normally I have a little cheeky insult to type of arguments like this, to say like they got this from a cereal box, but like back of a cereal box. But this will be an insult to cereal boxes. Like this is beyond crazy. Now, what we could do, but this is the thing. You and I, we are Christians. We could be sitting here and criticize and talk how foolish this Sheikh Yusef Estes is. But we are Christians, we are biased, and of course, we are obviously just making this up, because. But let's just ignore checking this actually history. But we are Christians, so this is bias. Now, Chris, there is the most famous critic of Bible. Muslims love this man. Who is it?
Oh, I could have a guess. Oh, let me think. Is it? I don't know. I was going to say Alexander the Great. No. Is it Bart?
Come again?
Bart Ehrman. Does that name?
Oh, yes, you are right. Now, instead of having Daniel and Chris, the Christians, to sit here and critique Yusuf Estes, how about we watch Bart Ehrman watching this clip?
Interesting. Yeah,
that's right. I tracked down on internet because I remember watching this some time back. And it was a little bit harder after David Wood deleted his videos from Act 17 Apologetics and changed it and gave it to Hatun. But I did find it, and let's have a look at Bart Ehrman watching this clip. And I want your audience to just keep an eye on Bart Ehrman. This is around 3.5 minutes, so we'll just watch it. And this is maybe one of my top 10 videos on YouTube. let's just keep an eye on Bart Ehrman. Let's go.
One more issue, and this is kind of weird, but I have a short video clip, and I just like your reaction, because when I react to it, they say I'm a Christian trying to cover up the truth. But there are people who try to line up with scholarship and so, like Shabir Ali is a Muslim, but he reads James Dunn and Raymond Brown and so on, and tries to interact with that material. Then there are others who, I don't know, it just seems like in the age of the internet, you can say anything you want, no matter how far away from anything remotely resembling scholarship. Now, I don't know, because you may watch this and say, oh, actually, yeah, here, I know what he's talking about. I can't figure out what he's talking about, but I'd like your perspective on a clip from Sheikh Yusef Estes. The clip is from a Catholic woman asks him a question about how he became a Muslim and so on. He starts interacting with her, but then Sheikh Yusef Estes explains the origin of the Catholic Church. And I wanted to bring this up just because the clip has millions of views, and there are people who take him seriously on this. So, ready to watch a video clip? All right.
You might think I'm a Catholic, I'll never be anything but a Catholic. But I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to be honest. This is not for you to, start a debate, but just be honest. Was Jesus a Catholic?
I'm amazed he can keep a straight face.
And it's not open to debate, so there's no point in opening that up because and I know he wasn't.
Watch this.
The Catholic Church was in business about 300 years before Jesus was born. It's on their website. Don't go like this. It's on their website. That's where I took it from. The Catholic Church was really started in Rome by Alexander the Great. Do you know what the word Catholic means? It means universal. It was the universal church for the Roman Empire. If you didn't join it, you could not be a Roman citizen. And it was opposed to the teachings of Judaism and opposed to the teachings of the early Christians for more than 200 and some years. And they were diametrically opposed to each other to the extent that it was the Romans killing the early Christians. Now, if you understand that and you go to their website and read, they didn't even take over Christianity until the year 325 AD. And when they did, they changed a lot of things, again, referring to their own website. But if you want to check it in Britannica or Americana or grow your encyclopedias, go ahead and read about the Catholic Church.
All right. Well, I heard you laughing at that. So why are you laughing?
No, it's just completely ignorant. It's just like he just doesn't know. He's like, that is one of the stupidest things I've heard in a long time. That Alexander the Great started the Roman Catholic in Rome. What? Okay, just ask him to read a book about Alexander the Great sometime. how much time he spent in Rome, and how could what's he even think? What? I mean, it's like, no, I'm sorry. That's way down there in the realm of stupidity. It's just, why do people do this in public? At least read something. And, just virtually everything he says was wrong, except, of course, Jesus was not a Catholic. No. But, apart from that, everything he says is wrong. And not just like my opinion wrong. It's just wrong. How funny.
Oh, that's amazing.
Oh, it's so good. Oh.
I love, he's so expressive there. Like,
yeah. I made many videos critiquing Bart Ehrman on his interpretation of New Testament, but that was just really funny, and it's just great to see his first impression and reaction caught on camera there. Now, I couldn't said it better. Like I have to say I couldn't say it better than Bart Ehrman, and. The thing is that I'm not saying it. Muslims' favorite scholar, critic of Bible, Bart Ehrman, is saying this, and it's almost hard for us to critique Yusuf Estes in this video because it's so bizarre, it's so stupid that it's hard to even try to remotely criticize this as a professional and an academic critique in a way of this, because this is just crazy. This is so dumb.
Yeah, if this wasn't if this is on the internet now, everyone can see this. This is just, this really should be like career suicide in the sense of it would be the equivalent of me saying, right, in the Bible, Matthew 5 reads the Teletubbies. It would be something as silly as this, really. And it's.
Hey, can you imagine William Lane Craig saying something like this?
Oh, I couldn't.
This is so Christians career suicide. People think that he lost his mind, going senile.
Yeah, we would think we think he's having a stroke.
Yeah,
we think there's something seriously wrong.
Why is not he completely ridiculed and taking cancelled by the Muslims? But again, we have so many other examples we can use. But this is just crazy that he is a sheikh and he's teaching, and people take this guy seriously. Like, you can't make statements like that in public on peace television and say these things. Like, you saw the reaction of a scholar like Bart Ehrman. Like, what more do you need? Like,
yeah, it's really quite short. Like, case closed. This guy is not a reliable source, and Muslims shouldn't be referencing him. Muslims shouldn't be sharing his videos. I'm going to be honest. I think one of the reasons why he's as popular as he is, I think he's a decent speaker. I think he speaks relatively eloquently. It's just a shame that there's no substance in anything he says. But rather, he's also a convert, right? And he's a convert from someone who used to teach, supposedly, Christianity. Teach, in quote marks. I have no idea where this guy came from, but I don't think he was a very good... put it this way. If that's what he's like as a Muslim, I think he would also be just as dumb in Christianity, because I think he would have just... I can't see him like actually teaching Christianity as it is supposed to be taught. If he believes things like that, then I think there's serious problems there. I wouldn't trust that guy to come into a church and, well, even like if he was a Christian, I would not trust that guy to come into church and give an actual sermon on anything.
No, absolutely not. I think you covered pretty much all that was to be said, and top with what I've said and Bart Ehrman. What else to say to this? It's just so full of historical errors, and this is really takes you a few minutes to look up, and this is really basic history. Like, and to say these things, it's just incredible. Like, I really have no words. Like, there are some Muslim claims, Dawah claims, that I can like put on my academic hat and try to like be a little bit serious and use references and all that. But where does he get this stuff from? Like, this is absolute nonsense. How to respond to this other than just like Bart Ehrman did?
Yeah. Well, sometimes laughter and mockery, I think, is the only way to respond to absolute insane ramblings, really. I mean, that's unfortunately what it is from Sheikh, who really even shouldn't be called a Sheikh. No. If that's his way of dealing with things. You said we quoted Bart Ehrman and Bart Ehrman's reaction to this. I also, if I remember correctly, Bart Ehrman has gone on public to say that there isn't any historicity to be found in the Quran, like not as a work of antiquity, because it comes so like hundreds of years, 500, 600 years after many of the events of Jesus's life, for example, that there's no real basis for it in history. Like, they can't use the historical approach to validate any of that. Whereas the Gospels were written within the same century as Jesus. So we can actually say, using the historical approach, we can evaluate these. But Islam rules itself out. So when Muslims keep appealing to Bart Ehrman as a scholar that's somehow useful for them to quote, well, okay, fine. But Bart Ehrman thinks that there's nothing like that can be validated in your religion.
Not only that. And by the way, Bart Ehrman is also he's arguing that he's presented strong. He is absolutely crushed Jesus mysticisms, and anyone that denies that Jesus was crucified, he will absolutely crush them. He's written books on it. And this is one of the most historical facts about antiquity, that a person called Jesus Christ was executed by crucifixion. This is so many sources for this event that if you want to take anything from history, you have to cut out anything else. Goodbye to emperors, Aristotle's, whatever you have. Like, you can throw out all history if you will throw out the crucifixion of Jesus. And not only what you said about that Bart Ehrman is not considering the historical claims from the Quran like not a source because it's too late and whatever, but that is the case with many other scholars and historians, because they don't go to the Quran for history. They use the Bible. They use the Bible for historical facts. If you go to Israel, you can find this on YouTube yourself, with many interviews with archaeologists, Jewish, atheists even that are doing diggings in Israel and in that area around there. They're using the Bible to find on their diggings, and they find many things. A lot of interesting discoveries from archaeology has been discovered in Israel and that region there, and the archaeologists have been using the Bible as a tool to find these places. So yeah.
You can contrast that, right, with the Islamic approach with Mecca. I mean, they've built skyscrapers over like supposed graves of like relatives of the Prophet and things. Like this is, and they found nothing. And when you build skyscrapers, you have to dig really far down to establish firm roots. So they didn't find anything. If they did, they never told anyone. So yeah, I think you've made an amazing point for the validity of the Old Testament as well as the New Testament, and shown why Islam has nothing.
Many example. Hezekiah's tunnel, the Tel Dan stele from David, his house. So there are an early mentions of what have you. So the reason why archaeologists will use the Bible for their diggings and archaeology is because it has a good track record. Of course, there are things they haven't found yet, but they have been finding incredible things using it as a tool. So they keep doing it because it's a good track record. But you mentioned, by the way, this with Mecca, and I also find this will be for another video. But the historical critique of Islam, I find very persuasive and strong. And that goes to all from the person of Muhammad to Mecca to the Qurans. I was on a Danish critiquing Islam channel last year, and I mentioned this, what I really don't understand is that Said ibn Thabit was put he was put to compile the Qurans and send it to 5 of the biggest cities that was ruled by Islam. And these cities are still standing today, but where are the Qurans that he wrote and sent to them? Like, this is so different from Christians, who was under persecution and at times really, really severe persecution for 300 years. But look how many manuscripts that survived and what we have in that period under persecution. And Islam, 600 years later, should be in a better state, and they can't even preserve their documents. We have complete Bibles from 3 different complete Bibles from before that time, Vaticanicus, Sinaiticus, and Alexandrius. So I really think that the historical critique of Islam carries a lot of weight. I am not the expert on it. I am still learning on that. So can't say I don't want to. And this is not the topic of this video because we are critiquing Yusuf Estes. But it's really, really an interesting approach, and I think it will just grow more for the future.
Hey Daniel, Mecca was actually founded by Alexander the Great.
Yes, you can read it. You can read it on this on the Quranic Encyclopedia. Yes.
The Quranic. Islam Encyclopedia. Sunni websites. Yeah, they also.
Yes, just and Britannica and whatever. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
I think that's good place to end that. I think.
Yeah, I think so too. Hey guys, that me and Chris we did another video critiquing Yusuf Estes, which is on my channel, and that will be where will be, Chris? Where can I find it?
Where?
There.
Yeah, there. Yeah.
There?
Yeah.
Wait. There?
No.
What? No.
This one.
There.
This one.
Oh, this one.
No.
There.
Definitely. This way or this way? It's one of these two.
One of those. You can find it there. So see that. Maybe you should pin in the comment for sure because I have no idea where.
Yeah, we'll put a link. We'll put a link to the video. This should also appear as a clickable thumbnail thing on the end of this as well. For you guys to go check that out.
And that video was created by Alexander the Great.
Oh yes, and it's 400 BC.
Yeah, see you there.
By the Catholic Church.
Yes.
All right, guys. God bless you all. Thanks for tuning in. Check out that video. It's just as good as this one. and we'll see you around.
We are recording on StreamYard. I never used it before, so if anything goes wrong, it's all Chris' fault.
No, it should be fine.
Yeah, this is % button. Yes, this down here.
Yeah.
You can share screen, video file, slides. Share screen, I will assume. No. All right. So you cannot share folders. I only see windows, Google tabs, entire screen. Is that what I need to share?
You could do that.
If I want to go access a folder to get the video file.
Okay, so if you could click on present and then go to video file.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to remember to edit this part out.
Or we can keep it in for the meme.
What browser are you using?
Again, we'll probably cut this part out.
No, we'll just retitle it. We'll retitle it to how to share video on stream.
Yes. Proper amateur hour.
A few moments later.
I'm gonna try and be like all fancy about this. I'm gonna try and share my screen.
Okay, the thing that I couldn't do.
Well, you'll learn. We'll get there. We'll get there.
I could share my screen, but there was no files there.